Hello, live. Cheers. Oh my, it is good coffee, organic. Wow, waking up to another day to biochar. For real. Yep, this is the third day that I made it, biochar. So, gonna pop up some videos in a little bit about how to apply it for snails, slugs, homes for microbes, water reservoir for plants to get water where there is no water, but it'll store it inside. Well, good morning, Brad. Just having a conversation about biochar, Brad. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. It's so important to have biochar. You feed your soil. You don't feed your plants. You feed your soil. And yeah, the biochar will absorb nutrients. Like when you put the wood ash on the biochar, it soaks into the biochar, but also brings in water. So it's a water reservoir, a nutrient reservoir. As it ferments the biochar, it's actually fermenting the wood ash. Then it's not so hot. It cools it down quite a bit, and then it doesn't hurt the microbes. So I've done one short video already on applying biochar, loaded biochar to my pathway soil bank. So yeah, and then I just did a video of biochar, walked around a little bit, yipper yappered, but there's 4 more short videos coming out on how to use biochar and its uses. There's a lot of uses. I mean, great detoxifier. Oh, you've seen it. Oh, good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I'm waiting on a weather change here next week, and I'm going fishing for and foraging for a long time. I don't know how long, but it's a long time. I like foraging. I like fishing. That's one of my favorite things. 2 of my favorite things to do. So yeah, you're up early. It's 4:47 here, 4:45. It'd be about 8 o'clock where you are, I suspect. You just light a fire on the ground, right? You save up your wood from your chop and drops and a tree you don't want, tree down the road. And you just save it all up. And then one day you have this, you just keep feeding the fire. You don't want too big of a fire, and you don't want a fire in the summertime. You want a fire in the winter or coming out of winter when things are really wet. Yes, going to the market. Going to the market. Oh, you're going to the store. But biochar is an imperative to have for healthy, balanced soil. You have to have it, and I put it in my pathway soil bank in a couple of times before I use that pathway soil bank as soil. It's a beautiful thing. Farmers market, huh? Well, farm's not growing too much out there, I don't suspect, unless it's in a greenhouse. That here they grow a lot in greenhouses, but I know in Ontario they grow a lot too. Yeah, they're harvesting strawberries at the moment here. You could buy a pound of local strawberries for $6. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. But biochar, yeah, yes, it is in a greenhouse. You have in Ontario. That's what you have is in the greenhouse here too. By May, they're eating wild strawberries and cultivated strawberries here by early May. Yeah. Well, thanks for the thumbs up. Well, cheap is not necessarily a good thing. Quality is the good thing. Right? This world's built on cheapness. Strange. Yeah. But biochar is beautiful. Adrian, welcome, welcome, welcome. What have you been up to, Adrian? You do gardening? You grow a container garden, house plants. Today's topic I wanted to talk about is the uses of biochar. Biochar is really great, hey? And easily and simply made. I mean, you're taking out all the gas from the wood by biochar by just heating it up and it smolders and all the gas burn off and you're left with this char. And that's what you want. Get ready to go. Have a great day, my friend. You as well. Take care. And so that's the long method. It takes a while. The short method is what the Mayans would do. And they just burnt a bunch of wood and then put it on their waste. That's it. That's all they did. And they made the richest, beautiful soil because they fed their soil. So that's yeah. Dave Knight, biochar for breakfast. Yeah, right? Yeah. Good to see you, Mr. Dave. Hey, did your package arrive yet? You should have got it by now, I think, maybe. But biochar for breakfast, I'm down for that. No, not yet. Oh, wow. It's been 4 days and it's 5 days. I think it was Friday. It's Thursday today, or Thursday or Friday. Well, maybe today. Good thing I got a tracking number. But yeah, that's a lot of seeds. You'll enjoy that. One interesting seed that I put in there was moringa. I put in moringa seed. They don't take any cold well. They don't. Moringa don't. But the leaves are nutritious, more vitamin C than anything else, more protein. It's a whole meal in itself. Some people like it, some people don't. But you can also the seed, the moringa seed. I've eaten lots of them. They kind of taste like coffee. I think I only sent you like 5, so happy chewings. My buddy brought them back from Mexico for me. I better call him today. I'm supposed to bring him some asparagus crowns. I couldn't do it the other day. I had to go and visit a girl. He ain't getting out. too bad. And I knew him a long time, and looks pretty rough. So I went there with my other bestie, and we went there, and it was pretty rough. 5 Celsius and rain here. I put the heat on in the greenhouse. I will try the seeds. Oh yeah, the moringa seeds. Yeah, I think I sent you 5. Might have 6. I don't think so. Also, the curcubita ficafolia is in there. This is that lasts for 7 years on storage. That melon. Eh? How I came by it, there was this guy. He was on the lamb. And he was growing food wherever he went on the lamb, and he ended up in a community garden, and then he had to take off from there. And then my other friend that leases one of the plots ended up with the melon. That's how I got the seed. Yeah, quite the story. But it's Chili Coyote is the local Mexican name, and then there's the Latin name, Ficafolia, Curcubita ficafolia. And I planted your seeds, your seaside spinach seeds. They're odd shaped. I was looking at them. I'm like, wow. So they're in, and a lot of my stuff's up now. So that's good. A lot of the new shoots. So I'll be pulling out a lot of the old kales and stuff. They can get rather tough once you get into the second and third year. Just cutting them off, and letting them regrow. I'm harvesting some lovage roots today. I'm putting down my biochar and popping up several more. What I use biochar for. I use biochar for bug and slug control. Like when you have the biochar in the soil, then the leaf miner and the click beetle, they're related to, I think they're the same creature, there's different phases. And it's so abrasive. Biochar, they don't like to live in there, hey? So you don't get the carrot worm and potato worms and all that, And you don't have the slugs like here on the West Coast. It's a slug fest for most folks right now. Big squash and melon year in my half-acre garden seaside I got from East Coast 8 years ago. I'm growing it. I hope I direct sow. I held back a little bit too in case it didn't work. So I planted that second time. So, and then I've got another tray of 72 underneath an LED that's empty, and I'm going to put different rows of things into that. Like one row this way, not the length, but the width of it. I think there's like 6 potters, and there's 72 altogether. So I'm going to be doing that. And making my biochar is so much fun. This was my own seed from the original. Oh, nice. I thank you kindly for that. Yeah. Seeds are, it's a whole different ball game. It's different people than other humans that collect seeds. They're and make soil. They're different. They're not the same as others. It's strange. But biochar does a lot. Like when you make your biochar from nothing and you got to go buy it, and it's like $20 a pound, hey? In some cases more. And you load that biochar. So when you load that biochar and that wood ash goes in through all the little intricate holes all through it because you've removed the gas by burning it. I fed my fire for about 5 hours, all the chop and drop and trees I had that I did. And you have to reduce some fig trees every couple of years. You just cut them right down to the ground, and it's the new Breva crop that you get, right? Because there's a couple of kinds of figs, so they do two different outcomes. As they age, the tree is worthless. There's nothing on it. Now, other figs don't do that. I found some figs at this church I hung out, and they remodeled and cut them down, hey? I was just about to go and get, like it was last year, to get some clones off of it because it was wild seeded fig. Figs grow wild, hey? They from the seed of figs, bird poop, right? And I went to go and get it, and it was gone. I'm like, wow. I have to be quicker, right? On the yeah. A lot of trees get cut down here, hey? They build things, right? So they cut down old growth trees. Like the last living old growth tree will get cut down, and people stand around watching it like, yeah. Like in the past 2-3 months, 2 old growth maples have been cut down on my street. Well, on my street here, and then one street over on the bicycle trail. All for houses or some obscure reason being. But that's, this world is run on business. I will plant the figs first when I get my package. Yeah. You got to grow a root on them. They're just clones. I didn't grow a root on them. They'll be okay. Hopefully you get them today. I hope so. Yeah. I put 2 in there. One strawberry verte. Guess these green verte means green, obviously. Strawberry, well, you know what strawberries taste like, and it's like a jelly inside. And you eat it, it's like, wow. And then the other one is the gigantus fig Chinese kind. Well, it came from this Chinese lady, and she came from Southern Asia somewhere, Southeast Asia. So she said she bought it here with her. That's the only reason I'm saying that. But that's the world's largest fig that I've ever grown. This guy from Portugal came here a couple 3 months ago, and he took some clones of the figs that I had. A long ways to go for a fig, but he was pretty impressed. Peace Journey, welcome, hello, and good morning. Yes, good morning to you too. Good to see you. As moderator, and there's your little blue jacket. Good to see you there, Peace Journey. Always a pleasure. So yeah, he came here from Portugal, and he walked around and he took some clones. And it was really weird how he took his clones. He found a shoot, a water sprout, a sucker, popping up out of the ground, and he goes over and he takes back a little bit of the soil, and then he takes a twist like that and then pulls, and there's like a few roots sticking on it. He took 2 of them. Of that giant fig. Yeah, good to see you too, Peace Journey. He told me it before he left. He goes, I'm really impressed with you and what you've done. And I'm like, oh, because he is asking me a lot of questions. He's like, asking me when I fertilize. I said, I don't. He's like, you don't? And I'm like, no. He goes, oh, well, what do you do? And I explained to him. He was really impressed with my explanation. So that was kind of neat. And I was kind of feeling big-headed. Like, wow, okay. Because he come from like farmland, and they make a living at it. And, they have to work hard, and they use their fertilizer. So then he asked me when I watered it, and I said, well, I don't. He's like looking at me, he goes, well, how do you water it? I said, well, I don't. I said, the rain soaks up into this giant sponge, right? And then the downspouts off my gutters go right down into perforated pipe through the food forest, so it constantly releases the water to the food forest. And he couldn't believe it. He's just like, wow. He says, this is why it all looks so good. And I'm like, well, I said, I went with nature. And in nature, you have, and then I explained all the biochar I made over the years. And I continue to make, and you'll hear people on the internet going, oh, yeah, don't use too much biochar. You know, there's bigger things to lose sleep over. And load up on your biochar and wood ash. Load your wood ash into the biochar. I put bone meal, organic bone meal in my biochar with the wood ash, and I'll put in 80 million year old sea creatures. It's called Dopro lime. I'll put that in and I'll soak it. And then I'll spread it on the land, on the surface, especially where I'm building soil. That's really important to do because you're really loading the soil for the microbes. And the microbes, that's home for microbes, especially when it ferments. Now, that's for using it in the soil. Now, when the migration of the slugs happen, because I've got neighbors that have slug issues and problems, huge, and I'll go to my fence line and I'll put about a 10-inch wide pile of wood ash and biochar all along that fence line for any snails that decide to come over, right? They just climb over a fence like nothing, and they go, actually, you think they don't go fast, they do. Land lime, well, Dole Prill, it looks like coffee, Dave. It won't burn the microbes. All other limes burn the microbes. You don't want that, right? It's important to remember the microbes because the microbes are the ones that breaking down the nutrients so that they feed the plant through the root system. There's these little tiny fine hairs, so they've got a hormone on it, and it grabs the nutrients and brings it right up through into the plant or tree. And it's interesting. I'm not explaining it entirely, but dolomite lime. Yeah. That's the substance abuse you're looking for. Little sardonic humor. But yeah, it doesn't hurt the plants. It can't burn anything like microbes. And you can build microbes fairly rapidly. And the biggest thing you can do for salmon plants is vitamin B, like decomposed fish or meat or cheese, something like that, that's fermented and decomposed. Your microbes have broken it all down. So I do mine like that, and people come here and they take my soil and then they come back after their season, and mostly in container gardens or little bed gardens. They all want a wheelbarrow or two. So if I didn't give it up, I'd have too big of a mound in my backyard, really, for real, because it builds up fairly rapidly, especially when you're continually in succession of putting layers down of green, brown, green, brown, green, brown. And what happens is that you're feeding the microbes with the brown, which is your soil you've already made, and then the green is your kitchen waste, whatever you have, leaves and grass leaves, tree leaves, grass clippings, whatever you want to call it. Just about any biomass that's not contaminated, you can make soil from. And people have these nightmares. Oh, it's going to draw all the nitrogen out of my soil. Well, no, that's if it's inside the soil. If it's on top of the soil, that's not how it works. As a matter of fact, you're encouraging microbial life, and you're keeping moisture in there by putting your wood chips on top, right? But there's all these, false understandings about growing food, and people follow it. Like for years, I was listening to people talk about orange and citrus peels that leaves them out of the compost. Really? I've been putting them in and they disappear. And really funky blue mold grow on it. I'm like, cool. Right. And so after years of listening to that, one day I was scrolling through on the YouTube there, and they were dumping truckloads. I think it was in Peru or someplace, of citrus peel that they didn't want from the juicing. So they dumped so much that's all there was for like 12, 15 feet of nothing but orange peels. Well, years later, people went and did a video of it, and it was the richest, most beautiful soil you ever seen. And it grew a whole forest of food. Go figure. I have 2 feet of black muck and sand that was a swamp for 6,000 years until 1948. Sweet. That's some rich soil. Swamp soil is one of the best, if not the best. I've grown with that. I've gone to the swamp, filled up my buckets with muck, and brought it home, and I'd put like a handful underneath a plant, Oh boy, it would just go like crazy. It would be mad. Tomatoes or salmon, whatever you're growing. That and a scoop of chicken manure. Man, oh man, you sure did the job. 2 feet of black muck. Wow, I'd be making big mounds. Just saying. You do pretty good there. I've seen your videos of your harvest and your growing, Dave. You're exceptionally good. Yeah. A lot of people are still running around buying bags of soil and seeds in a package from far off lands that have nothing to do with their climate. And I look at you making your own seed, making your own soil, and I went, yeah, you got it going on. That's for sure. I'm impressed. Just like that guy from Portugal came see me, so I'm impressed. You could tell he was in his 70s, and his hands were worn, boy. You can tell he picked a lot of olives and figs. He had that demeanor, that walk, that swagger. He had a good time here, and he came here on some exchange with a guy. Yeah, and he knew someone here, and then the guy brought him here because he spoke not a lot of English, but he could speak some, because he kept looking at the guy when I was talking, and the guy would translate it for him. Self-sufficient, absolutely. I grew up like that. I had one of my friends, this new friend. He's been a friend for a couple of years now. So he was over at my house last night, and I said, "How's your meat supply?" He's like, "Oh, well, not so good." And I said, "Well, would you like a couple of beef steaks, dry aged?" And he's like, "Sure." So we go over to the counter, and I break out the steak, and I cut him off some nice 2-inch tenderloins like that was dry aged. And he's like, "Where'd you learn this?" I said, "From my dad and my grandpa." Well, they all hung their meat, right? Just dry aged in a cooler. And it just makes the meat more tender. Yeah. So self-sufficient. Yeah. I'm going on my forage and my fishing trip soon. I had to delay it. I have a friend in the hospital. We didn't think he was going to live yesterday, but he did. 2 or 3 weeks should be planting potatoes. Right on, right on. I had a nice scoff of potatoes the other day from here. Last year's, you just leave them in the ground and take them out when you want them, right? Doesn't they don't go bad here. That's the best storage, just to leave carrots and stuff like that in the ground here. Potatoes, right? And you just harvest them when you need them. Fair enough. You don't have to do very much. So that was one of the things that the Portuguese guy, I don't remember his name, he had some Don Juan or whatever his name was. I couldn't remember it. I guess I'm not very smart. I couldn't remember his name, but I remember him. If I ever seen him again, I'd remember him. He had that walk about himself that he's been there, done that, hey, and he had that look. So yeah, he went away. He was very happy to get that giant fig, the same one I sent you. I sent you one of each clone of the shortest ones for the greenhouse that don't grow very tall. That's why I didn't take the mission figs or those other ones, those Turkish brown figs. They can grow 100, 150 feet. You don't want that. I figured to give you the ones that wouldn't outgrow your greenhouse. Then again, a lot of growers, like northern growers, they cut off the fig completely, and it regrows the next season from the old stump. And then some other growers take brown leaves, dried maple leaves, and they put it around the fig, and they put a netting around that. And that gives a buffer from freezing. Figs can freeze and still live. They lose a bit, like a foot or two of the tree. And it's kind of the same for citrus. I've had citrus die right off and come back from the ground again from the root where I cut it off, and vigorously. But I stopped doing that. I used to grow them out front underneath the hedge and this and that. Now I just have a few, and I have some at family. Where I have family, they have like solarium, so it's easy just to put them all in there. But biochar, I add to everything. Like when what I do is I take a milk crate and I take my oldest pathway soil bag and I put it in a milk crate, and then I start shaking it and filling up the wheelbarrow. I have lots of seeds from Jen at Northern Girl Hobbies. Oh, cool. I haven't seen her for a long time. I miss a big garden, but still playing with plants. Last time I seen her, she had a live stream with you, and for some reason it got cut off, and I tried to go back and see it, and I couldn't find it. And I went to her channel, I couldn't find it either. And you were there doing a live stream, and it just disappeared. But she got involved with with the convoy thing. I always thought, well, geez, maybe that's why. But she seems like a really nice person too. But she gave you lots of seeds. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. I don't see any activity from her channel at all. I was just wondering what happened, because I noticed that the live streams that you did there on her channel, they're gone. But you put up a couple of videos of you with the little pug and cutting wood or something like that. But yeah, it was weird that I tried going back onto that live stream, and it wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't go there. But I'm glad she gave you lots of seeds. She seems very knowledgeable person. And Peace Journey, I miss a big garden, but still playing with plants. Didn't work. She is still on. What? The sound didn't work. She is still on. Oh. Freaky weird. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen all kinds of weird things. This native guy, Anishinaabe guy, he used to have a channel on here, but he doesn't like he's gone now, so he doesn't like his name being said. So anyway, he used to have all kind of problems. I mean, he was, with the I think with the American Indian movement, AIM, and he couldn't go on. He'd get shut down. There'd be no sound. He was shadow banned. I was just like, man, how do you do it? Yeah, just weird, freaky ass stuff. I figure if you have something to say, you should be able to say it, even if you are going to offend someone. You still should say it. And the reason I say that is because you'd be thinking about it, and the person's feelings have been hurt, which is, that's not a good thing. But at least you said what you had to say. And sometimes what you have to say some folks don't fancy to it. Like if you're saying like go to Ottawa on the convoy, there's people on the higher ups that don't like that they don't like that. I followed her right through to what she was doing there. And I followed a lot of other ones too. And it was just basically, they folks didn't want to be told what to do because of their nationalistic beliefs and ego, right? Their nationalistic ego. So that's there's a lot of shenanigans all the time in human history. There's lots. There's tons. And organized shenanigans seems to be prevalent because then they put that into a business aspect. And they don't care what happens to you. As a matter of fact, you're just fodder for their cannon, so to speak. Just saying. Humans come from a really dark background. Thanks for all the thumbs up. In the history of the planet, I mean, they haven't been kind. And humans have not been kind. Humans only started being kind when civilization became civilized. Really, kindness comes from love, empathy, and sympathy, right? Well, humans didn't have that a whole lot. Right? Just saying. Yep. But I've been watching videos on biochar with the Mayans. They're way cool. They're still digging out Mayan soil. It's beautiful to see. It's black, beautiful black soil. Just beautiful. You can grow anything, right? The soil on the prairies used to look like that because of the buffalo. The buffalo, grazing and then pooping, grazing and pooping. And then 10,000 years later or 100,000 years later of doing that, you have beautiful soil. So that's all in layers, right? So when you make pathway soil bank, there's a lot of layers, right? There's layers of any green, brown biomass that you can get. Right? And you have rich, beautiful, healthy soil. You'll have rich, beautiful, healthy humans. I was just watching a video on France, and it was interesting that there was this narrative programming implanted that there's all this cadmium in the soil. Well, I started thinking about that, and I'm like, well, there's cadmium in all soil, right? I'm like, and that, I don't know, something like 25 or 30% of the French food is contaminated with this cadmium. I'm like, cadmium? But it's everywhere. Of course it's contaminated. It's I was like scratching my eyeball over that one. Yeah, like that does it just doesn't, there was the, because if you don't know what cadmium is, you'll be going, "Oh my God, that's in batteries or something." Of course it is. It comes from the soil. It's like asbestos, right? 240 years ago, my ancestors came here. It was a hardwood forest. Yeah. Oh, it must have been nice soil. Hey, ooh, juicy. Sometimes, like in the fall, I'll go into the ancient rainforest and I've got a little container and I put a bunch of that rich black humus into the container, put the lid on, and Peter patter for home on my way home from it, right? And I put it here and there to introduce those microbes, hey? Yeah, yeah. Some funky things grow out of it, hey? The last thing I grew was peach jelly mushrooms. They're delicious. It didn't taste like peach jelly at all, but it had the texture of peach jelly. But yeah, now we have 12% forest. Yeah, it's unfortunate that that lung is gone. That's what that is, eh? Just saying, it takes the nitrogen out of the air, the nitrogen fixers, puts it in the ground for a reason. So you got nice clean air. So 12% of the forest left. Well, not even 1% is left here on Vancouver Island. These people, they rush out and buy shares in a big conglomerate corporation bullshit stuff, and then they have no heart. It's just business. You got to make money off others, right? Wow. Welcome, Earthling. Chestnut. Oh, you got a question? Chestnut. Well, what kind of chestnut? There's Chinese chestnut, there's horse chestnut, and then there's chestnuts that you eat. The question being, chestnuts have high tannins. Bill, I think we are going to be okay. Well, you're optimistic, Bill. Of course you're going to be okay. Oh, almost hid user from Peace Journey is no longer standard moderator. Oh no, I hit the wrong one. Sorry, Peace Journey. Oops. There you go. I'm trying to get Bill going on there. There you go, William. He sure tries hard, that guy. American chestnut forest collapsed. Yep. Yep, you're right. But no matter, 'tis but a scratch. Well, Mother Nature has a funny way of going, boo, I'm back. But could take some, like pole shifting, continent shifting. Humans think they're all supermen and superwomen. Nah, they're not. And just enjoy your life. There's nothing you can do about evil, unscrupulous, no couth bastards that destroy the planet. Just saying. The movie The Trees is about the plunder of lumber on the West Coast. Oh yeah, this place has been plundered. Yeah. Well, now there is no more wood for the mills. So they've been closing for the last 30 years, right? But during that last 30 years, successive governments have shipped raw logs all around the world to China and wherever else, never processed them here anymore. See? Right? And then the tree companies, they just carved up their tree farm license and sold off and developed, and everybody got rich that was on the inside, and 99% of the outsiders didn't get nothing. All they got was broken dreams and closed pulp mills and loggers that couldn't work and fishermen that are, don't go fishing no more. There's one guy that owns all the salmon licenses. Well, not all, but most. And he owns the big box stores and you pay whatever they say for your fish. I don't. I go and do a deal with some locals. I don't care. Yeah. Yeah. Free the whales. Where the hell do you want me to put them? Exactly. Yeah. Well, this planet been here a long time. It's going to be here a long time after, with or without any life on it. Just saying. You can destroy this planet. Oh yeah, with biological, chemical, and radiation. You can do it. They can do it. You know, and when there's a change uh, in history that isn't supposed to happen, like you're not supposed to have a pole shift or water goes flying around the planet, but it has happened. Just saying, right? I mean, meteors have hit this planet. Psychos have come along and dropped nukes on it, and other psychos have poisoned it. Reason why I say psycho is because they're narcissistic, sociopathic psychos. They have no love. They grew up with limerence. It was love, hate in their family all the time. One day love, one day hate. One day love, one day hate. So it delivers limerence to your soul, and it's nothing you can do about it, right? So you accept that people are hard done by because of business. It's okay. It's not okay. Yeah. Dave saying hello to Bill. Look, Chernobyl was bad. Well, yeah. Yes, it messed people up. Wildlife and plants adapted, maybe with an extra fin or finger, but they adapted. Well, you're positive, Bill. I'll give you that. But if a fish's got two heads, I ain't eating it, Bill. Just saying, man. Right? The nuclear, there's been the equivalency just where I live from the North Pacific to the South Pacific, this water range, not so much in the north. There's been an equivalent of 12,500 atomic bombs, like the ones that were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, detonated in the South Pacific. So, that's all part of the same thing. So in the memoirs of guys that were on the ships looking at the water, it was boiling with dead fish. There's no fish there anymore. There's no life. There's no coral. Just saying, we're just talking about like research detonations. We're not talking about Chernobyls or Nagasaki's or 3 Mile Island or Fukushima. We're just talking about one little spot in the South Pacific that the French, the Americans, and a lot of others all decided to test their nuclear weapons. There's absolutely nothing living there. It's dead zone. Nothing. Zero. Nada. And it won't. It's too radioactive. Tested and followed, and winds and water blow around the world. Yeah, unfortunately. Enjoy your time you have, and that's all you can do, because a bunch of narcissistic, sociopathic psychos, that means that they think they're the only person in the universe and they don't care about the lives or anyone else, are running the show. I mean, you look at France. Look at France this week. They're having trials of 22 or 23 police officers and intelligence officers, doctors, lawyers, people of prominence, security guards, all doing hits for money, killing people. They were in the secret society, a Masonic lodge in France. Fuck, that shit goes on all over the world. Now, this week, all of a sudden, everybody's, oh my God, oh my God. Well, what the hell do you think's been going on for the past fucking 500 years? Sorry about the language, but, you kind of get, human life is to be respected, not just discarded and go, wow, we get 100 grand for that one dead. You're nuts. You're fucking nuts, and you're out there. Sorry about the language, but I just found it disgusting. It's been going on a long time. Just now that someone's got caught, and they're all peace officers and lawyers and doctors. And they're secret society, and they think they're better than everybody else because they made money by whacking people. What are you, nuts? They're nuts. You're out there. Stuff we drop now is precision. No, it's not. That I don't accept that neuro-linguistic programming. It's just stupidity. Do what you can do and sleep peacefully at night. Yeah, baby, that's it, right? Your language is perfectly suited. Oh, thank you. Peacefully, I am a cave woman clicking on a phone without autocorrect. Yeah. Howie, don't talk about the 1%. They are genius. No, they're not. They're narcissistic, sociopathic psychos. That doesn't make them geniuses. What it makes them is stupidity and stupid, because everybody dies and the worms eat them, dude. And that's just the way it is. And when you start thinking that you're better than anybody else and everyone else, that's when you get sloppy. That's when you get caught, like that Masonic lodge in France. It's all over the internet. But I mean, it was known for years that's it's a business, and the business is, well, go to foreign lands and chop up the land and get rid of the Indians. That's been going on a long, long time. It'll never stop either until this world ends, and as simple as that. Because when you own the cave, that's 1%er. Well, this is my cave. You pay rent. You buy food. Oh, we don't like you. We got the secret society over here to take care of you. Oh, you got a disease now. Oh, yeah, these masses will grow inside you. Yeah, you got to take this radiation or that. Do you? Go to a different institution, see what they say. Oh, no, there's no masses. Oh, who made the money? Oh, the shareholder in that corporation. This is how it works. Nobody loves you except for what they can make from you. Now, there's two kinds of love, even though there's all one love. There's two kinds of love. The other kind of love is they actually have empathy and sympathy and kindness for you. Extremely rare. Bill says the 1% has no clue how to survive. It's the common people that suffer and figure out ways to progress when it gets hard. Unfortunately, you're absolutely correct. But that's unfortunate. That the one about the 1%. I'm talking. Hey, Urban, how's it going? Good to see you there, Urban. Just having a chit chat. It's supposed to be about biochar, but it's turned out to reality check. Yeah. Cold coffee. Dave Knight saying hello to Urban. Yeah, pretty cool channel Urban has. Pretty cool person too. Suffering makes it easier to adapt. Well, why suffer? Why don't you just adapt? Taking the long route, right? Just saying. There's plenty of people who think they're more savvy than other people, and they probably are. But in the end, do they win? No. All you did was show that you're a freaking loser. In my books, I mean, business is business, and is it dirty business, private business, wholesale business? Wow, what kind of business is it? Is it public business? Is it government business? All these pain bodies and egoic mind thought form patterns, tons and tons of them. Pilgrim, good to see you, Pilgrim. Oh, you already got a wrench. How come you come up Well, that's not good. Go to channel. And it's Pilgrim. Silver lining is silver lining. Yep. Biochar is the garden soil's life force. Absolutely. Biochar is a route to go for like diseases, bugs, slugs, watering, nutrient delivery, feeding microbes and housing the microbes. If you don't have biochar, you'll get by. You're probably using Miracle Grow, but you'll get by. You got to do that again? Yeah, all the time, every year, all the time, every 2 weeks. Oh, okay. So loading the biochar with wood ash and bone meal, what's that do? Some pretty serious stuff. That's what that does. And layer after layer every year. So I'm in the middle of this project of putting out 5 short videos. I made my biochar. I'm applying my biochar, and then that's it. I should be off fishing and foraging next week, hopefully. Um, that's the trajectory. All the biochar professionals that make and study it currently say that data is inconclusive. There is no general way to do it. Materials used vary. Soil it goes into vary. It's situational at best. Well, who succeeded at the best soil? The Mayans. Did the Mayans die off? Well, there's a big story there too. Like whenever a race of humans go missing in the past, you got to wonder what happened to them. They were consumed by colonialism or the local humans, they are hungry and they go eat some Neanderthals and they all disappeared. That's what happened. So, yeah. So biochar is a life force. It must be in the soil. Takes toxins out of you. Good human grade biochar. Yeah. No biochar, you still do okay. You're not going to be the best. When you make your soil, you have to be the best, right? Mayans wiped out due to introduced disease. They had no defense against Eastern infested humans. This is the big poof. They had a lot of gold, man. And the Spaniards were chasing after them. Right? They were just utilized. I spread my wood ash on the snow over the garden in the winter, just hardwood from the stove. Yeah, hardwood is the best as far as I'm concerned, too. But you know what? If you're growing blueberries, raspberries, tomatoes, that wood from the conifers, the softwoods, is okay to use if it's aged, and the resins have been taken out of it. And those 3 acidic loving trees that give us food, or canes or whatever, shrubs, plants, they do very well in it. Now, all the rest don't. So hardwood's the best to make, right? To make wood ash and biochar from. It's the best because you can lose the resins a lot more. Once you hold back resins in wood, it's a toxicity that's just not conducive to your good health. Just saying, or the plant, or the microbes. Just saying. The Spaniards are useless in a jungle where tribes know it in and out like a map. If this is one of I'm on one comment, plus they also had to deal with the jungle's natural dangers and disease. Yeah, well, not black walnut or juniper. Yeah. There's like locust bean trees and shit like that. You don't use it. It just creates a fungus in the soil. And to neutralize it can be done. Happy Mac. Now, yep, those terpenes can only be handled by acidic soil-loving plants. Okay, I always get confused with this other Happy Mac that I know, and you're not that person, I don't think. So let's go and have a look. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Happy Mac. Yeah. Yep, those terpenes can only be handled by acidic soil-loving plants and bushes. Yeah, yeah. I've studied natives that burnt the land. Happy Mac is just me from upstate New York. Welcome. I studied the old burn areas. Obviously, it's not done that much anymore. And I went there and seen what was going on there, and it's basically depleted soil now because of erosion of the farmland, and just it has no cover crop, and it has no canopy, and it's covered in plastic. Actually, a lot of it here that I had to go look at. I'm like, why so much plastic? And it's rows they have covered in black plastic, and they put strawberries in it. Strawberries a quick cash crop, right? But it was hard to find where they had grown before. Almost impossible, if not. I didn't find actual intact soil at all. Just saying. So then I researched an area that they did burn, but it wasn't here. I had to travel and look at it. South America is ruined. They are stripping the forest and jungle for making beef cheaper, world source. Well, these things happen. There, these ungulates, these ruminants that just go through and get crowded on a piece of land, create disease. But it will bounce back, and unfortunately, people that have no couth or moral or scruple are running the show, and they don't care about the bugs and the birds and the animals and the plant diversity. They don't give a rat's ass. They care about that almighty dollar, and that's it. So that's what humans are up against, is stupidity, by allowing stupid people to run the world. And they're stupid. They're ignoramuses. They're ignorant. You look at them. I see them all the time, and they're just calloused, overzealous, limerence people. Yeah, that'll cover the boat, right, for making biochar. Oh, I made bone biochar with my biochar too. I threw in all these bones I saved up for the past year. I had a lot of bones. I was like, wow. And they all turned to mush and went into the biochar. Eh? It was pretty cool to see them all, these, I don't know, deer bones and beef bones, pork bones, chicken bones, turkey bones, fish bones. Unfortunately, all the bad neighbors didn't go in, but I'm just kidding. Maps are showing a massive increased scale of desertification. Yeah, that's been going on a long time. South America is ruined. Yeah, well, I wouldn't, not all of it. Maps are showing it. Yeah. Life grows where there is death. Yeah. Archie, I was just watching your channel. What the heck did I watch over there? Okay, there you go, Archie. You don't know Archie? Get over there. What was I watching on your channel? I think it was yesterday. I forget. It's morning and I'm just having my first cup of coffee. Oh, that's where all the neighbors went. Yeah, well, dead bird, dead cat. I all goes to all any bones I find when I'm walking in the forest, antlers. I pick up lots of deer antlers. Everything went into my biochar. First, I started feeding my rocket stove, and I just went, oh no, yeah, and so yeah. The park has areas of down trees that biology students come to study. I feel it's not natural or safe as the area had a Annual grass fires to renew up to until the experts solve the fire danger. Yeah. Burning off the understory is the way to control fire danger. Civiculture to go in and prune the tree. And then there's natural forests that should never be touched that are not near a human settlement. If it burns, well, it burns. Right? Just saying. That's what I always see. That is the way I am, Howie. I wake up in the new world every day. I forget what I was watching on your oh my gosh, Arky. Oh, it was interesting. Please elaborate so my pea brain doesn't feel useless. Now there's tons of dry deadwood pile. Yeah, that needs to be burnt off. And then that biochar and wood ash feeds the microbes when it ferments. Yeah, biochar is an integral part of nature. It has to be here. Okay? Well, it just has to. And most toxins that you are told that are toxic to a human, microbes make inert. Okay? Yeah. World's population goes through a cycle of massive death and rebirth. Well, line up here. Get in this lineup. Massive death and rebirth, nothing new. Our knowledge and old technology is mostly unknown. In 100,000 years, everything we know will also be under oceans and soil. Maybe a lot sooner. You look up Chen Thomas, and Albert Einstein endorsed his theory. So you might want to look that up. It might be a lot sooner than you think. If it ever did happen, you got a wall of water up to 6,000 feet, hey? So you better be able to stay above that wall of water. This planet ever flips for up to 7 days. Just saying, you better. The only thing that does that, maybe balloon, extra propane tanks. So yeah, you're right. It does wipe out the entire population. Well, at one point, all the people and all the humans in the world, after that happened, there was only 1,200 and something people, they figured, around the entire globe. That's how powerful nature is, right? Thanks for all those thumbs up. Flotation devices count. Yeah. Unfortunately, with 6,000 feet of water on you, not so much. You better have your hot air balloon. That's all I'm saying. And when it happens, I have no idea other than I can tell you that go read Chen Thomas's book. There was deliberations all over it. Apparently, the CIA didn't want people to read it. All kind of nonsense. And when Albert Einstein endorsed it, I went, okay, I'll read that. See what it's all about. So I went to see a friend of mine, a geologist, and he says, look at the waves of rock and peat rock and everything that's on the land where there's no water. I'm like, well, okay. So we looked it up on Google, and there's these vast areas where water went around the planet. Even against the Sphinx, there's water that was way up. That was underwater. Why? Well, these things happen. Most days I don't like the new world nowadays. Yeah, age of plastic. Ugh. Don't rush it, Howie. I need to get these years garden grown, and I'm not rushing anything. Flotation device do help. Yeah. We survived off of a tiny population. Enjoy your inbred self. Well, at least I don't have limerence. I can adjust and be just a earthling, right? I have that ability. But people that go through, trauma and love and this and that, and oh my God, they're just a vegetable. They have limerence. That's a word you can look up. It means you You project the same thing that happened to you as you go along. You didn't break the chain. Seen the backwash evidence in geologist. Yelp. Yeah. So how, if Eve is made from Adam's rib, why is incest looked down upon? That's a good question. I don't really, I don't fancy myself as a scholar of books, but I can, I am a scholar of no nonsense. And anybody can read whatever they want. Anybody can believe in whatever they want. But anything you read here, it could be 99% untrue. Now, if you see something and you documented it, right? You got the camera out, right? You were there, right? It was you, right? Then you might have a 50% chance of it being true. The other 50% is, well, are you a liar? Or did you do LSD? Are you high right now or a drunkard? Right? Just saying. Don't look into man-made stories. They fall apart. Yeah. Look at the dot on the wall. Follow the dot on the wall. There it goes there. Oh, it's going left. It's going right. Oh, follow it along. It sounds like a carny at a circus, man. Come on. At a carnival. Come on. Really? I like certain people on YouTube that have no nonsense. Hey, and this one lady, I follow her channel a little bit, and she's no nonsense, boy. And then one time she left me a note saying, "I enjoyed your video today because you're no nonsense, Howie." Yeah, she's pretty tough lady. She has chickens. Her husband's a biker, and he's a real little greaseball mechanic at times. It's funny too. I have more belief in cave etchings. Yeah, 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 yeah. I like caves and I like petroglyphs. Right? Yeah, I've actually traveled and photographed them. Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of cool. I can't so much go deep underground anymore. I've developed being claustrophobic from an experience I had. So I can only just go into a underground cave for like deep underground for a little while, and all kinds of crap goes through my brain. So I got to get out of there, and I'm just sweating, and I'm like, oh, the mess. So I'm not going to get into why I developed it because it is what it is. And if I was high intelligence and greedy and wanted to control a populace, how would you do it? Write a set of rules that commands them to your will. Well, must be true, them commandments, huh? If you have love, there's the only commandment you have. Fear controls the masses. Well, of course. People have moved away from religions. Of course. They turned now to social media. It was new channels. We know all that is biased. Yep. Yeah. Crazy world. It all comes down to the dopamine, hey? Like religions, social media, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol, sugar. All comes down to dopamine. Because as soon as you just mated and fornicated, you're like, oh, that's dopamine, hey? When you look at TikTok videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're up to about 35, 40 videos, and you're like, that's dopamine. You've run out. Okay? Yeah. So when you're governing accordingly, then which you should do as yourself, be careful of the dopamine. What happens if you run out of dopamine? Oh, shitloads happen. Yeah. Oh, nice peace journey. Petroglyphs. Yeah. Yeah. How many of us are walking away, returning back to the land? Well, the disillusioned. My favorite cave is Perdita, 3 shamans is nearby. Yep. I am grateful to be here. I enjoy the creation. Yep. The design of the universe is beyond us. I don't know. I went to that Hubble Space Telescope at the IMAX. I seen suns born in a nebulous. So I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. Hey, Mr. Sweet Time. Seeing the first blooms of species in spring is my dopamine. Oh, isn't that a nice dopamine? Oh, and smelling them, it's like, oh, 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 oh. Ego is, but then you got to have another ego. I do adore flowers blooming, I must say. It is adorable. It's like fresh air and you're stimulated and you're like, wow, I'm here. The one I smelled recently was a hyacinth. So a friend of mine, actually family member, that is a friend, which is rare, constantly brought me them. So I kept planting them in the front mountain. I'm getting a lot of these. Now they grow everywhere. Yeah. Good to see you, Mr. Sweet Time. Let's go by and say hello to Mr. Sweet Time. And go up there and go to his channel. See, he says he's a Mr. And welcome, 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 Mr. Sweet Time. Yeah, so biochar is my dopamine release when I make it. Happy Mac says, hello, Sweet Time. Good to see you. Yeah. But biochar in your container garden, your raised bed, your hugelkultur mound, your food forest, your veggie garden, the forest floor, anywhere. And you cannot breathe it. You cannot breathe it. The world tries to kill us every day. Who are the world? Who are they? We are an amazing species to have survived so long. Famine, war, disease, extreme weather, and weather cycles. Bulk of the plant is covered in water. Continued, and you cannot breathe it. Interesting analogies you have, William. Hyacinth. Recently, mine was mountain laurel. Oh, nice. Now the linden is blooming. Oh, that makes nice tea. Hey, the flowers and the leaves, the new leaves and the new flowers mostly make nice tea. Really flavorful. Hey, Carol's here. Hey, good to see you. And make sure it's Carol. Carol has a mini food forest in South Florida, and it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give you a wrench while you're here there, Carol. There you go. Bing, bada, boomba. And I gave out the wrench because I know who this person is. The Roselle was great to have while I was sick. Thank you, Howie. The Roselle. Oh, right. Okay, I don't know, but good for you. Good morning, sunshine. Okay, we'll pick a few and try it. Thank you. Oh yeah, the linden. Oh yeah. The leaves. Oh yeah. Pick a handful. Or mostly it's the flower, the linden flower, but the little tiny linden leaves. You'll get a lift of enlightenment. It's like, oh, cool. If you're in tune with yourself, then you'll notice the lift. It's kind of like eating a methylated B vitamin. It absorbs right into your cells, and all of a sudden, about 30 minutes after ingesting, you're like, oh, I know it's have more energy. Well, you're actually giving the mitochondria what it needs, right? So when you do the linden, you'll notice a heightened awareness, almost as if smoking tobacco. That enlightenment, like actual natural tobacco, not the 4,000 chemicals. The Roselle was great to have while I was sick. The Roselle is. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Roselle is the okra hibiscus family. You get lots of vitamin C from, and it's a Florida cranberry. Yes. I need coffee, Carol. There There's my old martial arts cup. Yeah. Oh. Forgive me for my absence as a host. Yeah, Roselle. Yeah, it's a hibiscus, that's for sure. I have a couple, three growing here, different kinds. Blessed to have a decent rainfall. Nice. Clean our soils. Yeah. Been using well water for too long. The increase in, yeah, slowing changing the soil pH. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. South Florida sunshine. Tropical says having organic Lipton tea. Listening. Have to change your boy. You know, I need a heavy dose of biomatter to help resolve and balance it out. Let the microbes do what they do best. Well, it's a continuous cycle of everyday layer. It's a layer, Bill. Yeah, heavy dose is great and all, but there's for my friend CR is here. Welcome, CR. Wild edibles. Hi there, everyone. I'll take many years to fix the ground for growing. Not really. Nature likes layers. The First Nations people, when they burnt the land, that was a layer, biochar wood ash, right? And then the crops came up and the greenery died back. And then you were good for 3 to 5 years, and they did it again. It's another layer. And so it's over time, Bill. It'll take many years to fix the ground for growing. I have to choose species that will want to live here, not what is forced to live here. And this is a good philosophy to have. I've seen your soil lasagna works. Yeah. Good morning, CR. CR saying hello back. Good to see you, CR. And Wild Edibles is here. Yeah, and this topic is basically about anything, but mostly I'm trying to stay on topic of biochar. So 3 days ago, I can't count. I never was good at it, math. But I fed this pile for 5 hours of every chopped and dropped, cut down and collected in the neighborhood, and all my bones that I collected over the past year all went onto the fire. And now I'm using it and applying it different ways. So the first video that went up was part one, and that was applying it to the pathway soil bank or compost or whatever you want to apply it to. It's up to you, but it's just one application. When I make new soil, I add that biochar sometimes twice or even 3 times before I use that soil. Different layers over the years. Sometimes I'll have 10, 15 layers, and it all shrinks down and then comes back up and then goes down. And I have leaves every year. Every year I covered in weed. I take my 2 buckets, I go to the ocean, and I chop up, as I pick up the seaweed, the bull kelps and stuff like that, I chop it up. People get all technical. What do you do about the salt? What do you mean? What do I do about salt? I live by the ocean. Salt's in the air. Okay. It's not an issue. Some people make things into issues, mountains out of molehills. I don't have a problem growing anything here. My soil's rich, black, mucky looking soil that's fluffy and loamy, and you know, so I make everything in layers. Layer of wood chips, layer of bark mulch, layer of coffee grounds, and I don't care if they come from Starbucks or Tim Hortons. I don't give a rat's butt. It goes on to another layer, another layer. Thank you kindly for all those thumbs up. And biochar, you don't have biochar? You'll still do okay, but you're feeding the plant. What you want to do with biochar is let it ferment with the wood ash for a day, 2, 3, 5. Some people go a week, and then some people apply it right away as soon as it's made because they're not using that land for another week, and it has time to ferment. And what that means is that it's not gonna injure the indigenous microorganisms that are there, and the MOs that you're accompanied with putting in there from foreign kitchen waste. Well, let's face it, that it is what it is. I mean, a banana is great for your gut biome. Why? Because it has microbes in there. So when you introduce it to your pathway soil bank, you're putting those microbes in there. And if you're growing them, okay, just understand that that's what you're growing, and that's what you're doing. I mean, you pick up one scoop of soil. There's 1.5 billion, 2, 3 billion in just a tablespoon, like a scoop of microbes. Okay, and they're all different. They're not all the same. No, some are pathogenic, some are not. Some live inside you, some don't. Some live on the surface. When you pet the dog, those microbes actually increase your length of life. So just saying, just think about microbes and look it up, do some Googling. There's lots of that Googling going on. I've seen your soil, yeah. I've seen your pink Swiss chard. Wow, is beyond healthy and big. I cannot grow it here for now. Yeah, I'm harvesting that again today. And it is delicious, silky when you eat it. It's very beautiful. Hey everyone, South Florida. Sorry, busy with my son. Nothing to be sorry about. We're proud of you. Wanted to catch Howie, a much great pathway soil bank. Yep, it works. Layers. Still have some snow here. It's warming up. Oh yeah, you're going to get a heat wave coming there pretty quick. They're wild edibles. And it's not April Fool's Day. It's for real. Well, I don't know about a heat wave, but it's going to get mighty warm there, and it's going to have a fast melt. Still have some snow here. Yep. They say our seaweed is toxic. Well, so they say. Here, I forget what the chemical is they found in it, but I wonder if that means sargassum. Oh yeah, seaweed is a biocommunity. Yeah. Just put it on there and let it decompose. Microbes make most toxins inert. And if you have to go around believing in every narrative that you're given, man, I took years for me to be deprogrammed from all the BS I learned, and I'm still deprogramming. Yeah, there's a new law coming up with our Greater Regional District for Couch and Lake now, or no, is it Shawnigan? Couch and Lake, yeah, Couch, and you're not allowed to grow any more food in the Cowichan Valley. It's a big valley, and it's all they do there is grow food. And they're bringing forth this legislation. They had this babbling earthling on there, and she was babbling about all the reasons why you're not allowed. You have to follow the guidelines. And I thought, lady, don't come to my door because you'll be leaving crying. You will. I'll make you cry like you wouldn't believe. No, you'd be wanting your mama. You wouldn't want me around. What a babble. You're not allowed to grow food. Get out. Run down my street. Don't walk down my street. Run past my house. Native plants. Yeah. Pet the dog. Yeah. Native plants that live on the coast in sandy or higher pH, sodium chloride packed with trace minerals. Love that stuff. They evolved to be there. It goes against, it goes against the programming you've been given through narrative and linguistics. Yeah, damn straight up. Right now I just see white layers. Yeah, CR. That's funny, CR. I love CR's sense of humor. Keeps me more human. My April Fool's Day was no joke, but everything is okay now. Yeah. Seaweed as a mulch is toxic and bad. Please send it all to me. I will safely dispose of it for you. Yeah. You know what? If you got to go running around worrying about every little piss ass little thing, you're not going to get nothing done. You are right. I should bury it and see what a plant says about it. Exactly. Just another layer. So pissed I do not live near the sea anymore. Ha 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 ha. Hey, Pilgor. Good morning, Pilgor. There's a guy that knows a lot. Give him a wrench as long as he's here because he's a good guy. And I've learned actually a great deal from Pilgor. I haven't seen him in a long time, though. What have you been up to, man? Must be season to be growing. Growing season. It is here. Oh, I'm just your fellow Earthling like you, Earthling Howie. Yeah. But just talking about biochar and all its uses, what it does. And it really helps with the carrot worm, the click beetle, the wire worm. You see that goes through all the leaves. And you know, like every 2 or 3 years, I grow by a few thousand ladybugs, and they get rid of all those trips and stuff. You know, you let them go. If you don't want them going away too far, you spray them with sugar, and they just eat everything. Yeah, yeah. I know. I don't have bug problems, and when other people have bug problems, and you're trying to tell them they got the solution, and there's 50 million others trying to tell you the same thing. Look, birds eat bugs. You got no birds? They're not eating the bugs. Oh, okay. You got trips, or you got like whitefly, or you got aphids. Well, you need ladybugs. There's an imbalance. The reset is real. How, yes, you call it gardening. Yeah, things are earlier this year. I know I didn't get any winter here. It didn't snow. And I had 5 or 6 frost days here. Just saying. Yeah. And Valencia lemons were left outside all winter. Yeah. What winter? Howie, up in Maine, Dennis and his wife have permaculture 15 acres in Deer Island. We used human waste, sea straw, all fallen yearly, organic matter, wood shavings, and seaweed composted. Continued. Yes, balance. Well, there's nothing wrong with human manure. And the biggest thing that people can dream up is, oh, it's got pharmaceuticals in it. Well, where the hell do you think they came from? Plants. Okay. Do microbes take care of toxins? Yeah. And until John A. Crappett invented the toilet, y'all went out back and the toilet outhouse, hey? Yeah, that all changed about 150 years ago. But until then, you just went out and had a crap. Crap it. John A. Crappett. That's where crap come from. And the word shit, that comes from schützen, to send in German. So shits and crap into the soil. No more Farmer's Almanac. Yeah, I got that last week there. That's too bad. Yes, balance. I learned so much in 6 hours of him than I could in the last 15 years hands-on. The carrots were as thick as the forearms, massive. Yeah, because you're feeding the soil, not the plant. You don't want to feed the plant. You want to feed the soil. When you understand that, like a few years ago, I went to see this guy from southern France, and he would go out. He had this garden on his veranda, on his balcony, and he would go out there and he grew tomatoes like you wouldn't believe. Like he grew beefsteaks and beef eaters and you name it. This guy grew it, and he was good at what he did. All his waste he made small and went out. And as he walked across that veranda, all the pill bugs would come out, and they're all like coming up out of the soil and then behind the this and that. And he'd put it like this onto the soil, and they all went, started eating. And I said, "You do this every day?" He goes, "Oh yeah, all kitchen waste. He feeds to his bugs." Guy had the best food. Yeah, yeah. I went to this guy and girl in the northern Sonoran Desert. Went to their place. They had like a rammed earth thing, and he had a shovel outside in the dirt. I said, "Well, why are you leaving a shovel out there?" He's like, "Well, watch this." So he goes over, digs a hole, goes and craps in it, wipes his bum, buries the soil. I said, "Where's your well?" He goes, "Oh, you have that above where you're crapping, not below, because it drains down a hill. Pathogens. Human manure is very pathogenic, as bad as chicken manure." Yeah. What did Pilgers? No more Farmer's Almanac. Yeah, that's gone. You know what? I just read old copies of it. It's still fun. You can get it online still. I learned so much. Yeah, yeah. Glad I've been laying leaves in October. Yes, yes, leaves. Yes, leaves and human manure. There's nothing wrong with it. Where do you think all these animals crap? They crap outside on the ground. I mean, if you're going to be dumb and go shit in your water, then you're dumb, right? You're ignorant. You need to educate yourself. Keep your water clean. Here's Dennis's property from Maine. Well, make sure it is. Yeah. Oh, did not. No, okay. Pilgor's still here. Yeah. I got their calendar this year just because it's pretty. It is pretty, isn't it? This is what seaweed and human manure does. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all the animals crap on the ground, and get over yourselves if you're thinking pharmaceuticals are in the soil, in your urine. There's a lot worse in your manure than pharmaceuticals. I mean, like glycinate, glyphosate, or whatever. There are millions of other shit. So worry more about that than what's in your manure, like from you. Yeah, they did away with it after this year, Pilgor says. You will have to know how yourself, like how he just said, educate yourself. Yeah. Basically, keep it simple to soil's made in layers, see? And without moisture, microbes don't make that layer. It stays dormant. So nothing happens to the leaves, kitchen waste, manure, whatever. Go do chores. See you, Peace Journey. Always a pleasure. Mwah. Layers, yeah, yeah. I like alder leaves for humic layers. Oh, I love alder leaves and a big bunch, where it condenses down to like a half inch or an inch a year. Oh man. One time I bought a jug of humic acid, hey, and I was putting it on my plants. Hey, oh, gee, and I paid big money for it too, hey. And they just went crazy. Then I find out it's just make layers, Howie, and save yourself a ton of cash. Like lasagna, exactly. Hashtag Pathway Soil Bank, make layers. In nature, like say a forest, a rainforest, every 10 years, 1 inch of rich black humus is made, okay? Okay? Every 10 years. You can do that in a day on your land, like a half acre or something, just by making layers. And the big thing is, the big question that I ever ask, what do you do about rats? What do you do about mice? Well, what does my municipality do now about mice and rats? Nothing. Okay, what can I do? Well, owl family eats 1,000 mice per year. Well, let's put up some owl houses, right? Yeah, isn't that a ding bing bada boozy, hey? What, an owl house? They eat 1,000 mice? Yeah. Yeah, we can speed up the process. Yup. Thank you, Gore, the live you're this morning. You're welcome, Peace Journey. Much love, mad respect. And yeah, I really like layers of green, brown, green, brown. Thanks for all the thumbs up. My day is coming soon. I can hear the birds out there. I've got to go and spread my biochar and finish off my videos and put one up. I have today's video short is going to be on traveling quick beetle, traveling wireworm, traveling snails, traveling slugs, right? That's what I'm going to be using my loaded biochar for today on the perimeter. Because just because I've taken care of the inside of the food forest, the outside still has transients. Okay, I got you. No problem. Yeah, we can speed up the process. Yeah, it just takes work. Yeah, it's 15 minutes every day. What are you doing for 15 minutes every day? Starting my first layer construction brown paper. Perfect. Cardboard. And pine bark mulch over hubby's grass. Well done. Mow the hubby. he lifted 2 trees to mow and snapped their main stems, and had been pulling on my grapevine, so no more grass. Yeah. I advocate cardboarding all lawns, and I advocate young people to get cardboard and leaves and go and just cover up someone's lawn. They wake up and it's covered. What are they going to do? Uncover it? I don't think so. Well, maybe there's psychos out there. South Florida sunshine tropicals, aka Carol, just taking forever as I have to do it myself, bag by bag. Yes, using cardboard too. Yeah, there's a lady on here. She lives in Florida too. It's her name is Garden What You've Got by Peggy Humgling. Hope I say that right. She might watch this. She's been known to watch my videos. Well, anyway, Peggy is on a mission to take 2,000 pounds of your household waste and introduce it to the soil. And when she talks, she says she's got mounds and mounds of soil, or soil's beautiful, and she turns it into worm castings, and that's what she introduces as soon as it's done. And she's doing an amazing job. And a shout out to Peggy Humgling, the Garden What You Got. If someone wants to put her link in there, you're more than welcome to. She's doing great. Oh, Wild Edibles. Yeah, that's right. I saw you there. That's right. I forgot about you. And the lady just an earth warrior, like beyond belief. I idolize her somewhat because she's got it up here, and she's all full of love of the planet, and she likes to Save the Children Foundation, which I absolutely adore. And yeah, but just taking for okay, bag by bag. Yeah, Carol, for sure. Hey, Arizona Highland Homestead, welcome, welcome, welcome. I checked out your channel. Very cool. We can't do it in front yard. HOA would find the crap out of us. Well, just get rid of the HOA. Just go scare the crap out of them. They'll run away. Trust me. I mean, dive bomb them, doggy do or something. I don't know, but I don't like HOA. I'm not a fan. Bill saying hi to Peggy. Peggy's not here. She's doing great. Wild Edibles. Yep. Arizona Highland Homestead. Good morning. Yes, that's a new channel to us, but I've checked out this fellow's channel and he's got it going on. Yep. A man with couth and scruple and morality. Very rare. Me too. She's great. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Peggy Humgling. Yeah. If you all go over there and say hello, how he said to say hi, I will appreciate that. Or who put it up? Wild Edibles. Wild Edibles said hi. And that we talked about you. If you want to leave a message to Peggy Humgling, I'd appreciate that. I'll wait right here while you guys do that. Because she, you know what, she works hard. She collects the neighbor's household green waste. She collects her own. And it's absolutely beautiful to see. This lady does not slow down. She's an earth warrior. She's got her spirituality behind her, and she goes forward, man. And she's a rocking machine. You know, she does her thing. She's got a hubby, and she does her thing. She was a flower arranger, decorator, florist for a long time in her life, and she knows. Peggy Humbling knows the way to saving this planet is making soil. If you make healthy soil, what else is there? You got healthy people, healthy food, healthy ecosystem. What's wrong with that? The biota of the eco world. Okay, that's what she does. She makes microbes grow. I absolutely adore her. I think she's fantastic. Yep. Yeah, me too. She's great. Yep. Howdy, Wickershire. Hey, AZ Highland Homestead. There was someone else that came in here. Hey, Meg's Edible Landscapes. I saw your channel. I went there. A pretty cool guy. He's over there in Minnesota. Yep, he's trying to grow some food. I think he was talking about something. I left a comment. I forget what. Forgive me. Remind me what I left a comment about. I know I did. That way I better drink some more coffee. I might remember myself. Yes, worms are next. I believe right now homemade ferments and such as I can. Such limits on my time. Yeah, it's a way of life. Absolutely, Carol. Homemade ferments. That's the way to go. I'm still cleaning up around here. All stored boxes are being sorted out. Good for you. I just checked out her channel out. Good for you, Visible Farms Pilgor. Thank you very much for doing that. I wish everybody, please, to go and do this, please. Go and leave a comment, even if it's just a dot that you were there. But if you leave a message that Howie or Wild Edible said to say hello on a live stream, I would appreciate that very much. She's like a locomotive, man, with making soil. I've never seen anybody like her before, except this Ingram lady. She just passed away, though. She was a soil biologist, scientist. She was very highly intelligent. I mean, yeah, it's terrible. She passed away, but the channel's still up and her people are still running it. So good for her. I never met her, though. Note on Wild Edibles. She's known me for what, 6+ years. She means a lot. Throwing hearts every video. The check-ins are awesome. Gives me confidence to keep going. Oh, you know her, Bill? Yeah, she's a little bit famous, that's for sure. I remember when she just came onto the internet and she didn't have anybody. Oh, just a few, but now she's up there. Wild Edible, sorry you have to suffer through my videos. Well, what about the rest of us, Bill? I'm suffering too. Making a cup myself. Just messing with you. Cheers, Arizona fam. Wickershire. Well, okay. Remember, that's a seed, not a dot. Yeah, it's a seed. It's a dotty seed. It just means you're present. That's what I do. I just put a dot there. I'm lazy. And I'm doing eco waste, right? Like I don't want to, have a big imprint on the e-waste, right? So instead of saying hi to everybody, I just put a dot there. And then instead of saying hi to everybody, I go, greetings, earthlings. Oh, you're all earthlings anyway. Wickershire, hugs, friend. Thanks you. It's a pleasure to watch your videos. Yeah, Bill's pretty cool. Yeah, seeds. I live my life around soil biology. Smart. Me too. You guys are funny. Thank you. Yeah, tickle. How you pop in? I'll freak out. I'm like, he's totally judging me. Hey, no, I don't judge anybody, man. I just have fun, man. I judge not unless you be judged. Not me, dude. I love everybody. I might not like what some people do. And sometimes you can suggest better ways, but always love everybody. And, then you don't have any fear from hatred, right? People go, "Oh, I hate that guy." No, you don't. You fear that guy. That's your problem right there. And yeah, liberance all the way. You got to keep that shit under control. How you pop in and freak me out. Yes, Elaine Ingram's school is expanding into doing classes in permacultural design. Yeah. Yeah. I listened to her like 15, 20 years ago. And yeah, I off and on, I dabbled in going looking at her videos. And I think at first I read her book, I think. Anyway, she was a smart soil biologist. Yeah. Morning. Did not see you were live. Hey, I'm alive. Hi, Mandy. Good to see you, sweetheart. Yes, needs more plants type of judging, maybe. Yeah, Bill. Always need more plants. Hi, CR from Mandy and Visible Farms Pilgor. That's a fact. Yeah. Making biochar is a ritual to me. It means everything. Fire turns the wood into a cleanse and a watering source and a force to fight bugs and a home for the microbes. It's important to have fermented biochar if you're putting it directly into your garden. You don't want to hurt the microbes, so make sure it's fermented. Visible Farms, you're the best. Fear ruins people's judgment, shows a super weak mind. They will seek false vengeance. I've seen my share. Yeah. Yeah. If you go around with love in your heart, not too much. You don't believe in that'll hurt you. So when you go around hating and fearing, there's lots that'll hurt you. Right. Just saying. Wild edibles, you and I are seed enablers. I don't necessarily hate anyone. I just shut down people out to hurt me. Well, of course. Avoid, and avoid some more. Yep, I definitely am, and got in trouble at the border too. Ooh, yeah, I heard about that. You said stuff to Jess. Seeds, yeah. Just be humble. Absolutely. Humble, and humble some more. There's some things that I live by. It's called humble, and humble. You know, simple as that. Humility. That's humble, right? And when you lose it and you get out of control, you're no longer humble. People come up with made up scenarios to and act on them, thinking they have a special sight. They have self fulfilling prophecies, is what they have. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Self prophesizing. If you go look at a carnival and see how people are trying to get you to come and spend money and throw a dart, which you never win the teddy bear, just think of that whenever you meet anyone who's trying to tell you something. Okay. Some are just downright crazy. Yeah. So with biochar, you're on a whole new level. You're cleaning the land. If someone wants to get to know what you're doing, well, I'm doing biochar. This is my last series on biochar. I'm trying to make it really simple. So basically, put a pile of wood on the ground, light it on fire. That's basically should be hardwood. If it's not, that's okay too. And if it's not the right tree, it's okay too. Burn the crap out of it. Make it into wood ash. Feed your wood ash on the border of your food forest, your garden area. So transient bugs wear a hole in themselves. It's kind of like diatomaceous earth, right? So, that's what you want, is to make biochar. And when you make your own biochar, all I do is I put it out after 5 hours of feeding it or an hour feeding. I put it out, put it in my wheelbarrow, and I crush it up with my shovel or hammer, and I spread it on the land. Sometimes I'll leave it there for a week or a few days just so it ferments. It's really simple. You're copying what's successfully been done. Okay. Oh, Howie, my boss got me a full electrical system for the. Oh, yes. Should get installed in about 2 weeks. Nice. Nice, man. You can't wait to see that. Yes, some people sound irresistible. Yeah, charming, isn't it? You know what my doctor did? He tried to bullshit me, and I looked at him. I never ever let on that I know anything other than here's the ailment. I said, you know what? Your neuro-linguistic programming is shit. And I got up and left. Left is all. I never went back. I never went back. Yeah. Don't try to program me with BS. I'm not a fan. That's good, Andy. That's pretty good. They will always be clicks, cults, keyboard warriors on the internet. It's the nature of technology. Inhibitions go out the window. It's called liberance. It's because you had love and hate as a child. You're born into a love-hate world, and you continued on, love, hate. You think that's normal. You've learned that. And then liberance it's called. And you continue on. That's where you get your sociopathic, narcissistic assholes that have no love. And you're not judging them. You're just discussion about a concern. And a lot of people that you bring this conversation up with, they'll run. They don't want nothing to do with you because you're telling them the truth. They don't want to change. They got their dopamine from being an asshole. Right? Thanks for all the thumbs up. Howie, do you grow potatoes? We have about 13 to 15 different kinds. And I just introduced a new kind of German potato. There will always be, yep. I tend to go the other way, stage right or left, Yeah, avoid the lineup. Howie. Yeah, right? Howie has always been good people since I've known him for years. Oh, thank you kindly. You as well. It takes no talent to be bad and hurt and take a human life. It takes real talent to heal up humans and bring them back to life. Eh? Just saying. I wrote that, by the way. It means something to me every time I say it or think about it. Yeah, that's part of liberance. What you're talking about there, the love-hate thing. Yeah. It's a syndrome. It's documented syndrome, and you learned it when you come into the world. And if you have just love, you don't learn liberance. But if you have love and hate or fear, you have liberance. Just saying. I've learned a lot about collaboration on the internet. It means I want your spot. Yeah, go for it. Too good to be true usually is, yeah. Just be kind to everybody, man. Be nice. It goes a long ways. It'll get you way more bees and onto the flower than the flower just being, dead and falling off. I think that's an analogy of just weirdness. Narcissists are good at finding their supply. Yeah. They're generally sociopathic psychos, but you don't see that. And they attack out of the blue, and you're the victim, but they're not. And I'm like, this one guy, he comes up to me, he goes, I've been kicked out of church because I've been called a narcissist. I said, well, who did that? He goes, well, the pastor, the parishioners, the people. I'm like, well, maybe you should look at that. So he goes and he looks at himself for days and weeks and months. And a couple of years later, I meet him and he's like, I don't go to that church anymore. I said, well, that's the problem right there, right? Because you couldn't face up that you're a narcissist, right? If you don't want to go to church, that's fine. But you don't want to say, I don't want to go to church because people are calling me a narcissist. Well, that's not going to help you. It could be anything. You could be going to the ball game. People go, oh, look at that narcissist. He's over there taking the ball from some kid that caught it and saying that it's his, and he's the only person in the universe. Okay, that's a narcissist for sure. And they have advanced liberance. They have advanced liberants, narcissistic, sociopathic psychos. They hide in all kind of places. Like someone was just mentioned there, they come buttered up and whatnot. And they do. They do. No. Many narcissists run companies. Oh, of course. Yeah. You got to be a jerk to rip everybody off. On your harvest of potatoes, I need to see if there is scabbing with wood ash. Nope. Potatoes being super acidic, loving, and wood ash is a brutal high pH conditioner. I have curiosity. I've never had a problem with my potatoes. I've grown just badass russets this big, dude. Massive. I think there's a video on it. And I never have a problem with my potatoes. My soil is in number one. I don't put my wood ash on my potatoes. I put wood ash on soil I'm not using, soil that I just made, and the perimeter of the property. There's one video's up on making the wood ash and spreading it. No, yeah, one is spreading it, and the other one was that I was putting it in the wheelbarrow or whatever, and showing I put out the fire with the hose, right? But I'm telling you, once you start making wood ash, by the third to fifth year, you're going to be growing some pretty cool stuff because wood ash has got all these little holes inside it. Like, say you got a chunk the size of your thumb. That's a home for 1 billion microbes to procreate, let's say. Yes, and then they scapegoat the supply once the supply figures out they lie about almost everything. Yeah, you're never told the truth by any corporation that I've ever seen. Yes, they can hide it until it's time to own their behavior. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they can be successful or as not as long as they get. Yeah, you're right, wild edibles. Everything that grows as a root, I thought like alkaline soil, hence bone meal to bulb up. I like bone meal. I put bone meal and wood ash and biochar together. Yeah. And dolomite, dolpril. Yeah, I put that all and I soak it with water. Yeah, I don't have a problem. Everything grows. I get loaded every year. I get more than I can use. So I got to be doing something right. At least I hope I am. A normal person accepts what they can get. Yeah. Root crops. Yeah. Yeah. I like root crops. You can leave them in. Like I leave in carrots, potatoes. Well, they're a little different than a root crop, but that kind of thing. And, lovage. I'm eating lovage now, like you wouldn't believe it's delicious too. I find all real gardeners all share a common love. Nothing better than sitting down talking about all your success and failures. When you talk about your successes, taps forehead. Yeah, well, a little wood there, Bill. But I don't have a problem with gardening as much as like say 30, 40 years ago. I had a hard time growing turnips, man. I had a hard time growing cabbages. I had a hard time growing anything. I really had to work hard at it. I just didn't realize the layers and biochar. Biochar soaks up nutrients and water and feeds the microbes, which feeds the plants. It's very simple. You got to make biochar and lots of it. Crush it up. Leave some big chunks. Make it crushed up like little dust, even. And that's what stops bugs, man. Bugs don't like wearing holes in themselves, they die. Just saying. I don't have a bug problem here. So, where I made the food garden, and I was there recently, I put in biochar. I got to put a video up on it. I asked the lady, I said, "Do you ever have bugs?" She goes, "Not since you showed up." I said, "Oh, do you get slugs?" "Not since you showed up." About 3 years ago, I put in the garden, the lawn. I said, "Do you have a problem growing anything?" She goes, "Well, not since you showed up." And it all comes down to I cardboard the lawn. I put leaves on it. I did the layers. I put my pathway soil bank. I put the biochar. I put the bone meal. I put the dolopril. Okay. And people from the village all eat there. It took me a couple, 3 days, and some people from the village, these young people came by and helped me too. That was really cool of them. Yeah. Apparently, I'm sharing with Billy. Laugh out loud. Billy, yeah, if I find you need to share everything in my opinion. Yeah, I find you need to share everything in my opinion. What? Okay. We definitely learned from our mistakes. That's the only way I learned. They are finding out some of what is helping citrus fight off these bugs causing greening is boron and of course gnats. Well, you know what? I don't have a problem with my citrus here either, but other people do. They get black fungus. So what I do is I did the research, did what was told to me that would help. I get a ton of lemons, a ton of oranges, and I live in Canada. And people are like, how do you grow that? How do you grow that? Well, it's called biochar and nutrients. And you know what? I must say, I do put down fertilizer on my citrus because they're such heavy feeders. They're just super heavy feeders. So I do use like 10-52-10 every couple of weeks during first veg. Once it starts vegging out at the end of fall, I don't use it anymore. But it absolutely loves fertilizer, citrus. It just loves it. So that's the only thing that I can successfully say that I ever fertilized was citrus, nothing else. Yeah. They are finding out some of what's helping citrus fight bugs causing greening as boron. I didn't know that. Thanks for the share, South Florida sunshine. Wikishire. Yeah, Wiki. Yeah, WikiLeaker. Yeah, we heard about you, William. Filger, could you email that 100 times so it sinks in? Actually, it's 130 times. Yeah. Just saying. See, I only backwash a minor account. Oh, Visible's cracking up laughing. I remember the videos on that yard. Yeah, it's still there. You just punch in lawn to garden, and there's a ton of videos. And that feeds my village like somewhere around a dozen people over the course of summer go and get tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, and greens from there. Well, I think it's a percentage game. Your percent of a success increases, and then you try a new crop, and it can be a brand new learning experience. Well, what I've learned is it takes successive crops of the same caliber. Like okay, so you grow it, you went to seed, you go to seed, then that will grow there. It's hybridized and climatized, and it grows there. Okay. Now you take that same seed somewhere else, it don't grow so good. That's why I advocate getting to know your seed exchanges because that was grown in your locale. Going and finding fruit trees and shrubs and bushes and canes and plants that grow in your locale. That is important. That's the utmost importance. Well, I think a great garden tip. If you're in a raised bed and growing crops that do not need pollination, leafy greens as an example, bug net it. I don't bug net at all, and I never have a problem. Bug net it, and you have issues. Bangs heads off desk. Yep. I messed up his name long ago. It stuck. Yep. Oh, I wonder if the heavy feeder citrus applies to my kumquat. Exactly. It certainly does. All citrus need heavy, heavy, heavy feedings. Every time you water citrus, put down some fertilizer, man. Just saying. Oh, I wonder if the heavy feeder citrus. Yep. Bug net it before the white butterflies are out. No, I don't believe in bug netting. I believe in leaving the wasps to kill the white flies and bugs and wire worms and click beetles. They got to eat, hey, the wasp, right? And that's the balance. When you see cabbage all chewed up, that's because you've killed the wasp or someone killed them for you in your locale. I wonder if the heavy, Wild coined it, laugh out loud, and now we all will say it, laugh out loud. Yeah, environment is important. That's all there is your biome. Okay, you got your biome in your gut. Just think of your biome in your ecosystem. It's the same. Yeah. The balance is beneficial bugs. Yep. True. I leave the ground wasps around. Good to know. They do eat bugs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't disturb the wasp. I'm up against the wall about growing eggplants. I know we get flea beetles in droves. Do I want to net and hand pollinate? Well, remember, eggplants are off the table for me this year. Well, you know what I would do, Bill? I'd go find someone that's growing eggplants in your locale and I'd use their seed. I'm a big supporter of companion planting. Absolutely. That's all I do. Plant nasturtiums with lettuce. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I like marigolds. If you plant mint, mice don't like mint. They can't smell anything. They'll leave. Ticks, whoa, mint, yuck. They don't like it, right? So I grow mint here and there on the border of the food forest, and I put it here and there in other places, right? Just saying. But it's just a way of life for me. I didn't come out of my mama and go, oh, wow, I know everything about biochar. It took a long time. I know everything about wasps. That took a long time. I read a book, To Hear the Angels Sing by Dorothy McLean. She passed away over in the San Juan Islands here, but she was over in Scotland. And yeah, Finhorn she created with her husband. And you can go look it up. And she talked about all the divas that govern things like lettuce, people, rocks. So I'll read anything as long as it makes sense, right? I'll read anything. So she was like super Christian lady, like right into her Christianity. And she figured that these divas were governing everything: peas, beets, carrots, fish, bugs, microbes. And she wrote a book, To Hear the Angels Sing. It's a worthwhile read. Walk through the yard everywhere before you cut the grass. Yep. Marigolds, mint everywhere before you cut. Marigolds, mint, basil, rosemary, all IPM plants. Yep. The infusion of flowers and herbs with your crops is leaning more towards how nature is designed. Monocropping is trouble. It has places, but not for the avid backyard garden. Yeah, polyculture is the best. I have the spiders picked off a leaf from my jackfruit to figure out what was going on with it. Turned over the leaf and the little green spider spread out and flat against it, terrified. Yeah. Yeah. The bud files. Uh-huh. 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 There it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bud Files has been around a few channels. That's why he's got a wrench. He is still alive. I apologize to the spider and put him back. Cool. Well, that spider catches whiteflies or whatever. The thing about polyculture is that it all helps each other, right? It's like a good village towards a bad village. When you travel sometimes, especially to third world countries, stand outside the village and listen to see if the children are singing and playing. If they're singing and playing, chances are that's a good village. But if there's no singing and playing and dancing, that's a bad village. Okay? It's the same when you go into a garden, you see a row of corn here, row of carrots over there, row of potatoes there. That doesn't do well. You have to mix it up a bit. I like my rows, don't get me wrong, but I also like my layers. So if I'm going to do a row, I'll do layers. Like how I control weeds is I make my pathway soil bank with the biochar and everything in it, the lime and the bone meal. And then after a couple, 3 weeks of that fermenting, I'll take that and I'll put it in between all the garlic. I don't go out and weed my garlic. All the weeds that were there are now decomposing. Now, some weeds don't decompose. They just grow like morning glory. So there's a little bit of hand weeding like twice a year. I might do that. Spider boom is a great indication the war against the bad bugs are on. If spiders love your place, there is a food source. Yep. Hey there, Bud Files. Yes, I like spiders as long as they don't run at me. I have only had issues once in my garden. I tried to grow artichoke and they got covered in aphids. I got them out of the garden and have never had another problem. Yeah, I just release ladybugs. They take care of everything. Ladybugs are your free workers. They're like chickens. They're free workers. Pigs, they're free workers. Wasps, free workers. Spider boom. Yep. Yep. The bud files. If you would like to share CR's coffee, I can get an extra straw. Funny guy, Bill. My garden was the first time I saw crab spiders since my parents' home as a kid. We have lived in apartments or then HOAs, which usually spray everything. Yeah, be careful of that place. I'm not a HOA fan. I'm not at all. I was recently offered a place in a HOA here, like a condo apartment for like super dirt cheap. I'm like, why is it so cheap? Well, there's a person there that says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Whoa, dude, I own this place, right? Well, why did you buy it? Why didn't you buy somewhere else? I'm not a HOA fan, and I visited a few of them. I'm not a fan. You come knocking on my door with your bullshit like that, I don't like them. My garden was the first time. Yep. Spider webs with water drops on them yeah, isn't that cool? That's a good source of water if you're thirsty, eh? And you can make those too to collect water. Be right back. Neighbors are here to pick up their tomato plants. Oh, nice, Bill. Okay, Howie, and I'll have a best day. Gotta go. See you, Pilgor. You have an awesome day, my friend. Yeah, you're an earth warrior, dude. Yeah. Could have been too much nitrogen. True. Sorry, Bill, you got the short straw. Ha ha. They are just all over down here. This place was a foreclosure. I said 2 years, hubby never heard me, hence my backyard. Yeah. Bye, Pilgor. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not a HOA fan. No, one of my family relatives just tried to sell me a place that's in a HOA. And I said, "You don't really know me well, do you?" And my family member's like, "Well, it's 200,000 knocked off, Howie." And I'm like, "I don't care. It's free. I ain't living there." They don't mind their own damn business. And you get a lot of that, people that don't mind their own business. You're really being abrasive when I see that you're not minding your own business. Just saying. Bye. Have a great day. Visible. Yep. Nothing else in the same bed got them Florida. It was perplexing. Yeah, that's strange. Eh? We have to do what we can where we can. Yeah, garden with what you got. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the only way to do it. There is no other way. Hey, I've been on here over 2 hours yipper yappering. I better go and distribute my biochar. So that being said and done, much love, mad respect, and thank you for all the thumbs up. And if you're rewatching this, hit the thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, watch the video. Bye, Howie. Bye, all. Much love. See you, Mandy. Much love, mad respect. Aphids are paying good reason to get ladybugs. Yeah, for like $10, you can get 1,500. Yeah, release a few every day, like a handful. See you there, Carol. Much love, mad respect, folks. Love yourself before you can love others. Yeah, make soil, make biochar, burning pile. Feed it for a few hours, shut it down with a hose. Watch my video, and please say hello on my video. Just don't watch it. I wish you to say hello, and only nice things too. I don't want to hear any bad things. See you later. I appreciate you all very much. Much love. Love, love, love. And end stream now.